Hey, before we start with the main video, I would like to thank you the following companies for their support. They support me through the YouTube membership program that I created for companies who care about software testing and are active in supporting the testing community. Thank you once again. If you want to learn more about the supporters, check the video description down below to find the links to their products. If you miss your logo on this page, follow the QR code or send me an email. Happy testing, and now back to the main video. Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Daniel. Happy that you're here for today's topic, which you have seen already the title, and it's called What is Context Engineering? And without further ado, let's answer that question for you in case you have never heard about that topic. Like myself, when I found out that there are really cool articles on this topic available online. So let's have a look. A couple of months ago, I stumbled up on a tweet, which we will see in a second, and it drove me like my curiosity. It's like, hey, what is context engineering? The rise of context engineering was the article, or the new skill in AI is not prompting, it's context engineering. It's like, okay, I need to read this. I read through the 3 articles that I just put in the video description down below and that you can see on the screen, and it was kind of interesting and it triggered something inside of me, and it has something to do with testing and what the connection with testing is all about. We will come to that at the end of the video. But what is context engineering? I thought myself, like, well, that's the tweet, basically, the tweet from Ankur Goyal, and it explained basically the context engineering. And the source of you can also find on that blog, as I said, down below. And it says context engineering is building dynamic systems to provide the right information and tools in the right format such that LLM can plausibly accomplish the tasks. Well, you don't get it? Me neither. So that's why I did the video. I'm doing the video for you today, that you learn all about context engineering and why it really matters in the age or in the era of AI, prompts, LLMs, and this kind of stuff. So what is context engineering basically? Well, it's not a single prompt that you send to an LLM, right? As you can see on the image on the left hand side. It can be everything a model can see before it generates the response. So everything that you can enter into an LLM can be helpful to help the LLM to generate the next and best response for you. And you need to provide context, and the context, as you can see, is on the left on the image already. But let's get to some details. So first of all, the context can be instructions or system prompts, like initial set of instructions that define the behavior of an LLM. You might have heard about it, like when you use your favorite LLM, for example, you give already natural context to the system in case you're like a bit more educated with that prompt engineering skills. So for example, you can say, you are a software testing expert in the field of test automation. You know all about test automation and how to adopt testing for web or mobile applications, for example. So that's already a context that you give to an LLM. So the system already knows, hey, I'm an expert in test automation, and then the system can find better responses for you or can generate better responses. So that's the first context, the instruction that you can give into the LLM in regards of context engineering. But to be honest, that's nothing new, I hope, for you. Then, of course, the user prompt, the task or the question that you would like the system to handle for you. So for example, you're a test automation expert, I don't know, convert me this Python script to Java, for example, or vice versa, so that the system knows, okay, it's an expert in a different specific tool, let's say Playwright, and you would like to convert it from one language to another. Yeah, that could be the user prompt. Then you have the state or the history, so the current conversation. That's also something that you have learned in prompt engineering, I hope at least, so that the better your, like, let's say, system prompts or the system prompts are, or like the better the conversation is between you and the system, the better the context and the better the system can use that history to make the next best response for you. So that's important as well. And then there's a long-term memory, a knowledge base gathered across prior conversations. So This could be something like, we come to that in a second, like retrieved information, like, but you have some documents, some URLs, anything that you could add to your prompt, for example, saying, okay, you're an expert in test automation. This is the language that you should transfer my Playwright script into. And here's a documentation of Playwright and stuff like that. So you can give a bit more knowledge based to previous conversations. Yeah. And then, of course, you use this RAG approach, like the retrieved information, like RAG. You use external data or relevant documents, databases, APIs that you can give into the LLM for you to generate a better output. Yeah. And last but not least, available tools, a list of tools the LLM can call. In the age of MCP, Model Context Protocol, and you can say to an LLM, for example, I don't know, generate, based on the output, generate a PowerPoint presentation, for example, or generate an image and stuff like that, or call tool XYZ and send an email or send a push notification into our chat system, for example. So this is all what the context is all about, that you can give into an LLM for better results. And that's important to know, that it's not only like a single prompt that you add to a system, but more information that you might have already. And then last but not least is, of course, the structured output. So the definition of the output format. As I said just a second before, generate a PowerPoint presentation, for example, or generate the data in a table structure and then give the columns and the rows that the system should work with, basically. So to give also the output format, and it's much easier for you to digest the information that has been generated. So why is context engineering so important, you might ask yourself, right? So because LLMs are trained on different data sets. I mean, that's what I think you have heard already before. So large language models are trained on specific data sets. They can differ from region to region, from the data set that has been used for the training data. Just make your own example, like go to your favorite LLMs out there, like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Anthropic, and what not is out there, and enter the same prompt into the different LLMs and see the responses that you might get. Yeah. On the other side, LLMs can deliver the wrong output. Of course, we know hallucinations and stuff like that, but what can happen as well? So it can deliver wrong output when the data used to train the model wasn't correct. Yes. The data that is available on the internet is also used for training models. And we all know people add weird stuff online that can affect the trained data. So this is also something that you have to keep in mind. That's why context is important. The prompt didn't deliver precise enough information, aka badly written. I think a couple of videos ago I made like a video about shift left in AI prompt testing, or shift left in AI era. And I think in the very first slide it was like garbage in, garbage out. And that's the same thing. The more precise the prompt is, the better the output. The worse the prompt was written, you know the results. LLMs can deliver wrong output when the LLM delivered the wrong output because, that's the duplication, is a bug in the slides, because important information was missing. That's kind of similar to when you write a bad prompt, but imagine, or like keep the RAG approach in mind. If you have valid data, let's say a huge PDF file, or I don't know, a huge database of valid information that is really helpful for the LLM to generate the better output, if you miss to pass that information to the LLM, it cannot deliver good output, right? So that's why, keep in mind, LLMs are not mind readers. It's completely in your control, in your hand. We're not there yet. Who knows where we're going to? But right now, the better you enter the prompt, the system prompt and the information, the better the output. Yeah. Oh, now I opened the last 2 bullet points. You need to provide all the information that you might have to get better results. Yeah. So really not only think about the prompt itself that we just talked about a couple of seconds ago, but really think about the context where you're working in. What's the industry? What are the information available in the company? Can you use that data to pass it to an LLM? All this kind of information is really important to think about upfront when using an LLM in a production environment, for example. Yeah. And then of course, the format of the information you provide to LLM is important too. Similar to good communication skills like humans. So the better the data you put into, the better the outputs are. Kind of obvious, but to be honest, I miss it myself sometimes too. And I bet you're doing the same. So that's why context engineering is so important rather than just typing in prompts. So then you may ask yourself, like, what's the difference now between prompt and context engineering? Well, here are a few bullet points for you as well. Well, we all know since 2022, prompt engineering is or was the trending topic in AI. There were like trillions of job postings online. Hey, prompt engineering is the next big thing to go and to become. To be honest, I don't see that skill anymore. It's still don't get me wrong, it's still an important skill, but I don't see too many job postings there, right? So new roles flooded the job market, as I said before. But prompts are okay for simple tasks, like generating some text, as I mentioned before. Simple tasks, you can use simple prompts without giving any context. However, our systems or the modern systems that we're working in are really complex, and simple prompts are not enough to get most out of the powerful LLMs. So that's why the context is so important that you give into that system. Yeah, providing the structural context to the AI is important. Yeah, so prompt engineering is basically a subset of context engineering for you to better get it into your mind. So context engineering, basically, you can also think about describing the whole world you're currently sitting in, like sitting in a desk, you're watching the video while commuting to work on your mobile device, for example. What do you see? Is there somebody next to you? So the whole context that matters for you in that moment, or in that case for your task when using LLMs. It's important to give into the system. Yeah. However, it still matters how the prompt is written. And go ahead, watch the video till the end, and then open your favorite LLM system and try to do some experiments. Write simple prompts without any context. Then open another browser, maybe with a different user, different access, and then give more context to the LLM and see the different results. So that's really important. So wait. Isn't that context-driven testing? You may ask yourself, or you might thought about that while I was talking about context engineering, giving a lot of information to the system under test. It's important to know all about the system that we would like to test. Well, yes and no. So in both worlds, so in the testing world and in the AI world, the context matters. And that's what we know as software testers quite well, right? So no matter we would like to test different systems, a web application, a mobile application, the context of the users, the user base, the target audience, the target environment, all this information is super, super important to generate our testing ideas, to generate the test scripts, for example, and also to perform our testing activities with, for example, exploratory testing. So yes, context always matters. So we need to gather the information about the LLM or system under test to adapt our work as testers or prompt engineers. That's what I said. If you ever get the task of, hey, here is an LLM, use it for your testing activities, and this is our product that we would like to test, use the LLM and you're like 100 times faster, more productive, and a better human. Well, yes and no, maybe, I don't know. So that's why gather context no matter in which role you are currently working on, and then use the tools. An LLM for me right now is just another super tool that I can use to make my work, to finish my work more productive and more faster. But still, context matters. Yeah. So context engineering has the goal to improve AI output quality relevance. That's important for you to keep in mind. As I said before, gather as much information as you can, give it into LLM, and the output is much better rather than just hacking a simple one-liner. And context-driven testing has the goal to improve testing effectiveness and efficiency. It's also one goal of context-driven testing, also giving feedback to your developers, to the product managers on the current state of the quality of the product. Yeah. So context-driven testers are well prepared to use context engineering in an AI world. So if you see yourself in the role as a context-driven tester, you're perfectly prepared for the context engineering and the AI era to use your skills that you already learned before to adopt them. It just needs practice with like everything, right? Like always we need to practice, and also context engineering needs practice. I mean, it's always super easy to just type in some simple prompts and get some results. It's working out. But again, you have to practice, give the information to the system, and then it's much better, the output. So that's already like the end of the video. What are your thoughts about context engineering? Do you agree with me? It's really important, or you think like, Daniel, totally wrong. I completely understand something different. Let me know down below in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And as I said before, the links that you've just seen before in the introduction of the video are linked down below. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.